In 2024, the Hyundai Santa Fe went from good to great. And since you're interested in the Santa Fe, why not learn about all the different models? So let's go ahead and get started with the 2024 Santa Fe SE.
The Santa Fe SE, which I guess stands for Standard Equipment, is what's considered the base model by many. But if you've already seen my TikTok review, you already know that there is nothing basic about it. In this body style, the Santa Fe's width has remained the same, but the length now sits at just over 190 inches. This means that the Santa Fe should still be able to fit in most garages. Now, speaking of, the SE has never been easier to park because now they all have front parking sensors and rear parking sensors that beep the closer you get to something. All gasoline-powered Santa Fe's all have a turbocharged 2.5-liter four-cylinder that produces 277 horsepower, and it's still able to give you 20 miles per gallon city and 29 miles per gallon on the highway if you happen to have the front-wheel drive version. Another massive improvements for the 2024 Santa Fe's is the rear door, because now every single Santa Fe has an automatic opening and closing rear door with smart liftgate. All you have to do is have the key on you and approach your Santa Fe from the rear. Once enough time has elapsed, the door will automatically open without you having to put your things on the ground or play the balancing game on one foot and losing. With that door open, you can see all the space that you happen to have, and if you happen to keep the third row down, you have about 40 cubic feet of cargo room. But remember, every single Santa Fe now has a third row, and the million-dollar question is the third row actually usable?
The great thing about the Santa Fe is the incredible amount of room in that third row. And just for reference, I am 6'1" and I have a 32-inch inseams, which means my legs, they're kind of long. So if I happen to hop in the back of the Santa Fe, one thing you'll notice first is that I fit. So even if I would go ahead and shut this seat, I still have plenty of room for my legs, and the people in front are still gonna have plenty of room for their legs. So yeah, there's a lot of other third rows on the market, but if you want usable space, the 24 Santa Fe should definitely be on your list.
If you want to move up to that second row, passengers will have USB-C charging ports in the side of the front seats, storage pockets on the doors, and this little pull-out storage tray. All of that plus a first on the Santa Fe, the bi-directional center console. That means passengers in the middle will have an easier time grabbing things from that center console without the lid blocking most of their access. Getting up to the front, the new layout is amazing. Both display screens for the speedometer and the touchscreen are now in the same curved housing, really helping the Santa Fe exude that futuristic interior. Like previous generations, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are still standard, but now on 2024 models, they are both completely wireless in their connectivity. Something else that's standard is called BlueLink Plus. You can actually control some functions of the SE remotely. That means if you wanted to, you can remotely start your car from your phone. You could find it on the car finder in case you forgot where you parked it, and if you have a smart home, it's even better because you can actually control it all with your voice through Google or Alexa. Now, all that tech definitely makes life easier to live with the Santa Fe, but what about driving it? Well, with all the smart sense safety features, driving it should be nearly telepathic. With things like blind spot sensors, lane keeping assist, and lane following assist, that means that drivers will be more aware of the things going on outside of the vehicle as they drive it. Now, for those people who like to do a long-haul trip, something else you're going to love about the SE is that you actually have adaptive cruise control, so it can maintain distance from vehicles in front of you when the cruise control is active. But even if you do not have the cruise control active, a phenomenal feature is called Forward Collision Avoidance Assist. What that does is that if the vehicle notices an emergency stop situation, if the driver happens to take no actions, it will actually apply the brakes to either reduce an impact or avoid one altogether.
By the way, I want to give you an extra YouTube discount. If you want an extra $500 off of any car, including the Santa Fe's, all you have to do is click the link below that says Schedule with Miguel, set an appointment, and then come on in. It is literally that easy to get extra discounts. All you got to do is come and see me.
As you can already tell, the packaging for the interior and exterior features for the SE are phenomenal. And yes, if you're wondering about remote starting your vehicle from your key, you can do that as well. So, with all that as a baseline for the entire lineup, let's see what else you have when you graduate into the next Santa Fe, the SEL. The design of the SE is continued on in the SEL, and the biggest exterior hint of that change is the addition of the side rails. The side rails allow installation of crossbars for extra cargo carrying capacity on the roof. So, if kayaking is your jam, the SEL would be a great model to start looking at. The interior is a bit more refined as well, with the seats going from cloth to Hyundai's H-Tex interior that makes cleanup a breeze should something spill. Plus, the driver's seat now comes electrified for easier adjustments while driving. The center console also gets a few improvements with dual AC, so that way both front passengers can customize their own climate zones, and if you need a little bit more heat, don't worry because you also do get those heated seats which can really come in clutch on those chilly days. Lower down and between the front seats, wireless device charging also pops up, and not only will it charge up your phone, but it can also be used for digital key too. That means owners can literally leave their physical keys at home and still drive around their Santa Fe's to wherever they'd like to go. And since connectivity is a must for everyone in this day and age, SEL also brings Wi-Fi hotspot to the rest of the cabin, so everyone from the front all the way to the third row will never miss a beat. Speaking of that third row, SEL is also the first to offer third row AC controls with dedicated air conditioning vents on each wall of the rear. So now, the best seat in the vehicle is whichever seat you decide to sit in. Cars and SUVs are becoming more than just transports. They are more of a reflection of their owners. Now, with SEs and SELs having great versatility, you might still want a little bit more. Luckily enough, if you are the outdoorsy individual, Hyundai has made a special Santa Fe just for you. It is called the Santa Fe XRT. If you follow my channel long enough, you know that in prior years, XRTs were just blacked out versions of their SEL counterparts, but in 2024, the XRT does have some exclusive capabilities for those of us who want to escape the big cities and get more in touch with nature. Now, I'm sure there's a few people out there that will be happy to know that the XRT has not lost its blacked out touches, but if you notice the rims, they will be wrapped in Meteor all-terrain tires when compared to the SC and SEL. Many other off-roaders also do pack a lot of things on top of their vehicle, and the XRT has something to help you along with that. On this model of Santa Fe, there are some extra grab handles to assist you in stabilizing yourself while loading or unloading, whether it be at home or on site. And don't worry about the wind noise, because the flaps can be locked into place as well. XRT will have the same H-Tex interior from the SEL, but customized with the front seats being embossed with the XRT letters. Plus, XRT is the first Santa Fe to offer a sunroof for extra peeks at nature for your future expeditions. XRTs will also come standard with Hyundai's H-Track all-wheel drive system in case you want to do some light off-roading. And speaking of off-roading, the XRT does ride 1.3 inches higher than its SEL brethren. Fun fact, all gas-powered Santa Fe's have trailer pre-wiring and can pull up to 3,500 pounds if you're using something with trailer brakes. But the XRT is able to pull an extra 1,000 pounds more than the rest of the Santa Fe herd, topping out with a towing capacity of 4,500 pounds. Since the XRT can be used for various excursions into the wilder parts of the world, the engineers did place a 115-volt wall plug at the rear in case your camping spot doesn't lend itself easily to your electrical needs. Now, if you happen to throw down all the rear and middle seats, you will have plenty of room for carrying a ton of cargo or just somewhere to sleep at night. And if you don't want to exclusively rely on your phone's network for GPS info, the XRT has you covered because it is the first Santa Fe to actually offer GPS from the factory. Even with all those goodies, we still have a bit to go to really see everything that a Santa Fe can offer. So, without further ado, let's dive into the next model, the 2024 Santa Fe Limited. Although the Limited would definitely be better suited for the demands of suburbia, to put it in camping terms, if the XRT is roughing it, the Limited is definitely glamping. One dead giveaway that you're actually looking at the Limited is to look at the wheels, because only the Limited has those 5-spoked 20-inch rims. As for the key fob itself, it has sprouted a few more buttons on the side. Why? Well, I'm happy to report that the Limited is the first in the model line to offer remote smart parking assist. So if someone parks a bit too close to you, owners can have the Santa Fe move out of the confined parking space to hop in much easier. Now, here's another feature that makes the parking lot life a lot more enjoyable. A 360-degree camera system will show you exactly what you need to see in order to maximize your low-speed maneuvers. The Seats have also been upgraded because now every seating position is now trimmed in leather. Another difference about Limited is that the Limited is the first vehicle to actually bring an electrified passenger front seat, so that way they can adjust it as easy as the driver. And both front seats actually gain ventilation, so both occupants in those front seats can easily adjust and also cool down their seat to their own liking. And hopping back over to the driver's side of the vehicle, you'll also notice the addition of memory seats to the door. The dash on the Limited is also a little special because if you notice on the leftmost panel, you'll see this little circle. This is the fingerprint reader that will recognize the driver and load up their profile, so they won't have to spend too much time getting the Santa Fe ready and into the settings that they would prefer. Focusing our attention back to that center console, you'll notice another new button. This is an ultraviolet sanitizer. All the Santa Fe's have this top storage cubby, but on the Limited models, inside you'll have a strip of lights. Now, while humans cannot perceive ultraviolet with their naked eyes, the camera can, and once the door is closed and the button is pressed, the high energy light goes to work by neutralizing microbes on whatever object was placed inside. For the rest of the cabin, the Limited Santa Fe's include a second sunroof. Now, that rear glass does not physically open, but the shade in front of it does, and it does an amazing job at letting in a lot more light. And if you happen to be located in that third row, you'll now have an extra USB-C plug within reach on each wall. Now, if you're Hyundai's biggest fan, or even if you can't stand the brand, something that is amazing is that all these features exist. But the thing that really boggles my mind is that it's still not the fanciest version. At least not yet, because this next version is the apex predator of the entire Santa Fe lineup. It's called the Santa Fe Calligraphy. Just like previous incarnations of the Calligraphy, the 2024 Santa Fe definitely gives out a very classy ambiance. Now, one small detail up until this point is that every single Santa Fe has had plastic wheel arches. Fortunately, the Calligraphy designers have decided to paint those wheel arches the same body color as the rest of the vehicle and help separate it from its preceding versions. Another touch of class comes in the shape of the wheel, because now, for the first time ever, the Santa Fe Calligraphy actually increased the rim size to 21 inches. Those eagle-eyed among you have probably spotted something different but familiar. The Calligraphy reintroduces the side-mounted grab handles that were found in the XRT, but for some reason disappeared on the Limited. Moving to the inside, the seating has been covered in some exquisite Napa leather, and there is a new driver's seat function. So, if owners have a stressful day at the office or just a long night, with the push of a button, the seat self-adjusts and enters what Hyundai calls relaxation mode. Calligraphy also rectifies a charging conundrum. So far, every Santa Fe center console has had two places to put two phones, and SEL through Limited has had a wireless charger. A meaning singular, but in Calligraphy, double chargers finally make their grand debut. Keeping with the theme of useful technology, Calligraphy offers something called Highway Driving Assist 2. Highway Driving Assist 2 first hit US shores inside of the Genesis GV80, and since has made its way into the latest Ioniq models, the Santa Fe, and even the Palisade. So, while the driver must maintain control of their vehicle while piloting the Santa Fe, Highway Driving Assist 2 is technically semi-autonomous. It uses GPS and radar data to help maintain the vehicle centered in the lane and maintain distances on the highway at speeds up to 95 miles an hour. Plus, it has the added benefit of changing lanes with the touch of a turn signal once the conditions have been met and deemed safe by the system. Now, if you happen to be riding in the Santa Fe, the middle seats are probably going to be one of the biggest differences. All of the Santa Fe's have had bench seats up until now for the middle passengers, but if you hop into Calligraphy, those seats will now be captain's chairs, and they do include electric functions that will help with recline, entry, and exit as well. Plus, with all Calligraphy models, you get the benefit of having the suede headliner, which not only looks good, but feels very nice as well.
And so guys, those are some of the biggest differences with the new 24 Santa Fe's, and no, I didn't talk about every single little detail because it would take way too long and I'm too fun for that. But if you like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and don't forget to leave me a few comments of what else you'd like to see in future videos. But till next time, I'm a Gary Car Guy, and I'll see you soon.